Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Rhea Ripley has reacted to Jey Uso winning the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. The Yeet Master eliminated John Cena to win the Rumble for the first time in his career. The Eradicator and Jey have bonded on WWE television over the past few months. Ripley's exit from the Judgment Day enabled Jey to join forces with her and Damian Priest. Jey and Priest have also teamed up on Monday Night Raw, while Ripley supported them in their corner. Rhea Ripley was not in action at the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. The reigning WWE Women's World Champion recently defended her title against Nia Jax at Saturday night's main event and may have a target on her back, thanks to Charlotte Flair. The Queen won the Women's Royal Rumble match and made a statement immediately upon returning to television. Jey Uso was also in action at Saturday night's main event, where he challenged Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but was unsuccessful. At WrestleMania 41, the OG Bloodline member will again attempt to win his first World Championship. Rhea Ripley, the gritty, no-nonsense powerhouse of the WWE Women's Division, stood backstage, her eyes narrowed as she stared at the television screen. The arena was still buzzing from the aftermath of the Royal Rumble. The camera had just shown Jey Uso's hand being raised in victory after an intense battle. He won the Royal Rumble match, an unexpected and highly emotional moment that sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. The energy of the crowd was palpable, and the history of the match would forever be etched in the annals of wrestling history. But for Ripley, who had just narrowly missed the chance to claim a second Rumble victory of her own, there was only one thing on her mind: Jey Uso. Her jaw clenched, and her fists tightened as the realization hit her. The man who had been on the opposite side of family drama, the one who had fought his way back from a broken legacy, had just pulled off one of the biggest surprises of the night. Rhea had seen the intensity in his eyes as he entered the match, the determination not only to survive but to stand out, to make a statement. And he did. But this was Rhea Ripley. She wasn't a woman who simply let moments slip by or let anyone overshadow her achievements. She didn't need an extravagant speech or a long, drawn-out statement to make her thoughts known. No, Rhea was about action, about dominating the moment in the way only she could. So as she watched Jey Uso's celebration, her mind was already working on the perfect reaction. What was her message? What did she need to say in response to his win? That was all she needed. Rhea was never one for words unless she could back them up. And Jey's win was not something that would sit comfortably in her stomach for too long. She had one simple word that would make her point clear, and as she turned away from the screen, she walked towards her locker room, not wasting a second. The door clicked open with ease, and she slammed it behind her. A few moments later, her phone buzzed in her hand, and the WWE Universe flooded her notifications, speculating on what Rhea Ripley might say about the Royal Rumble results. Social media was already on fire, with fans commenting, debating, and questioning what the dominant force in the women's division thought about Jey Uso's moment. Without hesitation, Ripley opened her Twitter app and typed a single word. Her message was concise, and yet it carried weight. In that one word, she acknowledged the achievement without any unnecessary fanfare. She didn't need to heap praise on Jey. She didn't need to be overly gracious or give him the recognition that many fans might expect. Instead, she left it as simple as it was deadly. She was impressed. That was it. That was all he was getting from her. Her fingers hovered over her phone for a moment longer before she placed it back on the table with a finality that mirrored her approach to the business. She knew exactly what this meant for her. Jey Uso had won the Royal Rumble, but that didn't mean it was over. It didn't mean the road to WrestleMania was set for him. The Rumble winner had a lot to prove still. And while she gave him credit for surviving the chaos of the match, she had her own plans, her own ambitions. Rhea wasn't someone who would let anyone take her spotlight. In fact, she wasn't just impressed, she was inspired. And inspiration could be a dangerous thing when it came to someone like Ripley. Jey Uso had earned his shot, but he was stepping into a world where power, dominance, and legacy weren't just given, they were taken. Rhea knew that better than anyone. As she prepared for her own journey to WrestleMania, she couldn't help but feel that she had something more to prove now. Something bigger than just claiming victory in the Rumble. Something more than being the dominant force in the women's division. If Jey Uso wanted to make his mark, then Rhea Ripley would have to leave hers in an even more undeniable fashion. Across the internet, Rhea's words spread like wildfire. The one-word tweet sparked endless commentary. Fans were left to debate what Rhea truly meant. Was she simply acknowledging Jey's talent? Or was she suggesting something more, something sinister about her true intentions in the coming months? WWE superstars themselves began to weigh in. Some backed Jey, congratulating him for his monumental victory. Others, perhaps more fearful of the future, kept their distance, knowing how unpredictable the current women's champion could be. But no one could deny that Rhea Ripley's impressed carried with it an unspoken challenge. As the evening wore on, the questions only grew louder. Could Jey Uso stand up to the storm that was Rhea Ripley? Would his Royal Rumble win lead him to a championship opportunity at the grandest stage of them all? And perhaps more importantly, how would Rhea Ripley, one of the most dominant champions in recent history, respond to this challenge? Her reply, cryptic as it was, left nothing to the imagination. The message was clear. She was watching. She was observing. And while Jey might have won the Royal Rumble, he hadn't won her respect. At least, not yet. Later that night, Rhea stood alone in the darkened locker room, her focus unwavering. Impressed. It had been more than just a word. It had been a declaration. She was giving Jey credit where credit was due, but she was also sending a signal that the game wasn't over. Far from it. Jey Uso had his moment, but Rhea Ripley had her eyes locked on the future. And if anything, she was more dangerous than ever.